Last summer, I got my cake pops removed, and the plan up until recently was to get my marshmallow wand reconfigured into a marshmallow tunnel. Unfortunately, a few weeks ago, I noticed some hair regrowth on my marshmallow wand. That's bad, because the outside of the wand is what becomes the inside of the tunnel.
This is Tino, and we are talking about someone with a twisted mind today. I know, can you believe it? On Wicked Wabbit, we talk about that. Par for the course, right? I myself can't even wrap my head around this one and why she hasn't been arrested yet. We're talking about transgender surgery in a place like Disneyland, where kids and their parents and families just go to hang out and have a good time with Mickey Mouse. It is so disturbing that you're downplaying the very serious and adult consequences of surgeries like these that leave a big, gaping surgical wound, calling it a and promoting it to kids who haven't even fully developed and gone through puberty yet, and making it seem like sunshine and rainbows, and I haven't even got around to calling you on co-opting the rainbow just yet. And just look at how many minors have gone through these surgeries, ended up screwed up, and regretted it.
But I can't undo it now that I did it. I began transitioning at 12 years old. 12 years old when I started Lupron and testosterone, and it was only a month after my 13th birthday that I had a double mastectomy. I was in a place when I made those decisions where I did not have my comorbidities under control.
I'm like, what the f***? What have I done? What have I done? Why have I done this? This isn't just went bad, this has gone catastrophically wrong, and I'm a freak now. The only sensation I have is like deep pain.
I wish I didn't take the surgery. Personally, I think, those surgeries we're not ready to attempt to change our in that way.
I genuinely feel deep sympathy for the young individuals who were misled by gender propaganda and suffered from irreversible and severe side effects. Yes, those who underwent these surgeries without comprehending them, and nobody really clued them in, least of all the doctors. Those who perform those surgeries, they're not doctors, they are demons. Social propaganda manipulates these youths, and it convinces them that their adolescent struggles stem not from just experiencing a surge of hormones related to the normal process of puberty. No, they stem from being in the wrong body. This is the most demonic phenomenon I've ever witnessed in human history. And if you guys don't know who she is, Tino is a transgender advocate on TikTok who recently sparked significant controversy. I would attribute this to her fetishistic use of food to promote transgender surgery to minors. Clearly, if there is one thing missing, happiest place on earth, it's a discussion about how you had your removed.
Cake pops are gone, so does the stick still work? The thinking behind this question is, if the cake pops produce testosterone and they're removed, then, well, how can the stick still work? Believe it or not, cake pop stick expansion has very little to do with testosterone in the first place.
I'm dating someone who turned their cake pops into a donut. This donut is breaking, but you get it. She's about 6 months out from surgery, and she's at the point where she can comfortably serve her donut. And the process of figuring things out has been a lot of fun for both of us. Buongiorno! This is my manicotti, and later this year, a surgeon will turn it into a tortellini. How, you ask? Let me show you. Now, if I still had my meatballs, which I don't because I got them removed last summer.
Her bizarre fetish really makes me wonder if she is one of those possessed by demons. Even transgender community hates her now.
You whine and complain when you get misgendered in public, and somehow you think that talking about this in front of children is okay. And what irks me the most is that people like you become the face of the trans community, and then we get compared to you guys. We are nothing alike. Nothing alike.
Tino, you humiliating the entire trans community. Decisions like this one demand a high level of maturity that only adults can fully grasp. This is a life-altering and irreversible surgery for which no minor can be adequately prepared. Hell, if you've ever talked to a teenager or your teenage son, they think they're gonna live for ever. How could you promote such content to children, let alone adults? It's evident that you're not advocating for the trans community. You're merely seeking to stir up controversy for clicks, aiming to make money by spouting nonsense online instead of actually working. Seriously, everyone, we need to stop giving her any attention. She should be banned from all social media platforms. She is a menace to society who gets her kicks from creating sick content online.
When you're talking about surgery, why do you do it in the most public places? You could talk about it in your house. I also noticed that you talked about it in like a kids area, kind of like Disneyland.
What I really think people have a problem with is that I am being a trans person in public.
It is astonishing that she portrays herself as a victim, claiming that people's objections are solely about her being trans in public. Seriously? I don't care whether someone is trans or not. Individuals should be free to be whoever they want if it brings them happiness, life, liberty. However, I have zero respect for anyone who manipulates public attention for personal gain and pushes harmful propaganda onto children. Children, if I must mansplain this for you, are incredibly impressionable. They absorb whatever they see, whatever they hear, and such moments have lasting impressions. With the expansive reach of social media, these videos don't remain confined, they go viral, landing directly in front of young, impressionable eyes. You glamorize a serious, life-altering procedure, completely glossing over the associated risks and reality, which, by the way, young people are incapable of comprehending. That is why car insurance goes down in price the day that you turn 25 years old, because a part of your brain that calculates risk does not actually develop until you turn 25 years of age. This is also why I deeply respect detransitioners like Richie Herron, Layla Jane, Alexander, and many others who bravely emerge from the shadows to reveal the harsh truths about transgender surgery. I'm sorry that this world has subjected you to such experiences.
Stenosis and necrosis. Stenosis is the tightening of the urethral passage, so that basically means that you can't pee without extreme pain. Oh. It's like a constricted urethra. So I had that, and I had it very bad after surgery. Like I couldn't, even on a catheter, I couldn't empty my bladder, and it was like extreme pain because your bladder's full and it's trying to add more and it can't get out. And necrosis is the death of flesh, which is where you get the smell of dead bodies and that horribleness. There's a huge risk for developing all sorts of infections after that. It's a miracle. It's a miracle that I'm alive. Oh my God. It's anus, and on top of that, my anus was damaged during the surgery. So I have a cut. No, I have a cut along my anus. So
I'm like a lot more prone to like joint pain and like blowing out my back and like, you know, like slipping things and stuff. I don't know if it could be related. It might not be, not really sure. I think it might be though, because I'm still really young to be having those issues, but there's a lot of unknowns. Yeah, definitely. There's just too many unknowns to be doing this so young without much guidance. Yeah.
I can't even begin to imagine what those young people are enduring right now. Urinary infections, constant pain, loss of sensation. They're living in a nightmare every single day, while Lily Tino tries to make it all look like a happy ending straight out of a Disney movie. It infuriates me that our society allows these procedures to be performed on children. Doctors who convince kids that a change is their only path to happiness should be locked up. They hide the horrific side effects and sell them the illusion of happiness, only for these kids to discover the brutal truth the hard way after surgery when their perfectly functioning, perfectly normal organs are gone, and that their lives as they know it and as they never would come to understand post-puberty are over and have turned into an unending living nightmare. Whatever struggles they faced before, bullying, feel like they didn't belong, pale in comparison to what they're going through now. And to make it even worse, you've got content creators like Lily Tino painting this picture of sunshine and rainbows for children. It's beyond irresponsible. It's dangerous.
Honestly, intimacy is a million times better today than it was 5 years ago. So until I transitioned, I felt like I was missing something. Like I didn't get why people enjoyed this so much. Ultimately, I think that comes down to not being the truest, most authentic version of myself.
Lily's talking about how she only enjoyed intimacy after transitioning. While Richie and Alexander cannot even have all they have is endless pain. The reality is far from the picture that Lily paints. It's chilling to me that thousands of minors consume this type of content. It's not empowerment, it's indoctrination. Let's call a spade a spade. Imagine teenagers growing up believing that intimacy is tied to queerness before they've even had the chance to figure out who they are. And the list of issues doesn't stop there. What's worse, Lily Tino cosplayed Miss Rachel in this video to appeal to minors. Let's watch.
Hi friends! Today we're going to talk about something super important. What it means to be transgender. It's a big word, but I promise that it's easy to understand. Ready to learn? The first thing I want you to do is close your eyes. Now think, do you feel like a boy, a girl, or a little bit of both? Do you have your answer? Great. Now I want you to imagine that everyone keeps telling you that you're something else, even though in your heart, you know who you are. Wouldn't that make you sad inside? People who feel like this are transgender. And if you're not transgender, it's super easy to be friends with someone who is. Let's take our imaginary friend Theo, for example. One day you notice that Theo starts wearing girl clothes instead of boy clothes, and then they tell you that they want to be called Luna instead of Theo. This is so exciting for our friend Luna because they finally get to be their true self. And if you accidentally call Luna by their old name, make sure to say a big sorry and that you'll do better next time. As you can see, transgender people are just like you and me. They're our friends.
Ms. Rachel creates wholesome, age-appropriate content that helps kids learn and grow. In contrast, Lily Tino's appropriation of this persona to disseminate her own agenda is misleading and manipulative to these young minds. There's an unsettling and sinister motive behind Lily Tino's relentless obsession with targeting kids through her gender propaganda, and I'm not the only one who notices this. Many others have expressed concern over her actions, recognizing the potential harm in presenting complex topics to impressionable audiences under the guise of familiar and trusted characters. It's crucial that we remain vigilant at all times and in all places about the content that our children consume and to ensure that their developmental needs are met with appropriate and genuine material.
Oh, Bubbles.
No one can tell me this isn't fetishizing and dressing like a child. She is an outright pedophile. The Crayola earrings have me fuming. So why exactly would Lily, who wanted the world to view her as a woman, be infantilizing herself? It seemed that Lily, whose main audience comprised of trans women, haters, or a combination of both.
I'm seriously freaked out by the comment that someone's 5-year-old daughter loves Lily Tino's content. The fact that so many minors are watching her videos and potentially being brainwashed into that they don't even fully understand yet is absolutely disturbing. Why is our society allowing someone like Lily Tino to go viral on the internet while neglecting the stories of the detransitioners, the real victims of this sick world?
About 3 months after surgery, and I said, I regret this. And they went, no, you don't. And I was like, okay. And I was just getting gaslit because I've got obsessive compulsive disorder, and I was diagnosed before I went in. And they tried to say that it was all an obsession and a rumination. It was part of the OCD. all I want to say is I've made this huge mistake and I don't want others to get harmed, obviously, but I want to tell someone. And then after this, about a year back and forth after surgery with the gender clinic, they got me referred to a psychiatrist and a psychologist, and my gender therapist came with us, and they re-diagnosed us with OCD.
But honestly, I'm very upset that it was done to me so young, and also, not to mention, in a headspace where I just shouldn't have been able to make those kind of decisions.
The scale at which society seems to conspire to benefit big pharmaceutical companies is absolutely terrifying. Social media platforms promote this type of content to children. Schools push the narrative that you can choose to be a boy or you can choose to be a girl, and these doctors perform these procedures on kids while denying the regret and irreversible consequences that often follow. It's hard to believe this is happening in polite civil society. Lily Tino's viral reach should serve as a wake-up call. It's a warning about how misinformation is no longer just problematic, but actively harmful. How about we trust the science? Young people, it's time to wake up. Stop giving your attention to individuals like Lily Tino, and instead focus on spreading truth about transgender surgeries. The future depends on you. Use your discernment. Bring about real change in the world. Let's make it a better place. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stay tuned, because we're just getting started down the rabbit hole, and we'll see you in the next one.